political prisoners were released, and between them Sia McJarry and Mohsen Shaki, parents friends of Marjan, who returned days later to visit them at home and told them how their tortures and abuses were in prison, and Marjan considered heroes. Uncle Anuj appeared at his house and told her his story of how he got to where he is. When he was young, his uncle proclaimed a democratic state and he wanted to work with him against his father. But his uncle was captured and had to return to his parents where he lived as an exile to the USSR. There he got a wife and had two daughters, but years later he divorced because he didn't get along with his wife in the marriage, which is why with a false passport he returned to his family but was captured and sentenced to 9 years in prison. Meanwhile, the state spread the results of the election in which 99% of the people voted for an Islamic state, which according to the Margin's father was a lie. With this decision, many people migrated to the United States, between these the boy who liked Margin Kavak and part of her family. When they returned home from their family at the airport, they meet the news of the murder of Siamak and Mohsen at the hands of the state, and days later his uncle Anush is captured and executed for being a Russian spy. After a year of being an Islamic state begins to form the new society and begin to make decisions such as the closure of the US embassy and universities for 2 years so that young people were not future imperialists, this ends the dreams and hopes of Marjane.
After the Americans were forced to leave Iran, many things started to happen. Marjan's parents allowed her to attend to a demonstration against the new regime. The demonstration erupted in a violence, and they didn't demonstrate again. It was the first time Marjan saw violence. Then the war started to intensify, and one day a group of bomber jets descended to Tehran. A group of fighters were released from jail, and they agreed to fight for Iran if the old national anthem is broadcast on the television. Marjan was very proud. Things started to go very wrong because the food was not enough. A bombing on the border town of Abadan sent Marjan's friends Mali and her family to stay with them. Marjan was ashamed of being in that situation. After this, the students were taken out of the school because they were rebels, which caused the parents to be angry with the teacher for doing that. The teacher accused the children to be rebels. In the schools, to the kids are given keys to represent their ticket to heaven once they are martyred during war. That caused that the maid was very sad.